The story begins with the end of the world. Earth's resources have completely run out and extreme heat has taken over the planet. Because of this, even Antarctica's ice starts melting. Hidden inside that ice was a virus that had been trapped for thousands of years. Once released, it spreads across the world and causes massive destruction. Almost all humans die, and a few survivors are wiped out soon after. As the situation becomes hopeless, governments and rich people decide to abandon Earth. They escape in rockets, try to reach another planet to save their lives. But their decision is rushed. Many rockets are destroyed in space and thousands of people die on the way. Back on Earth, the remaining people slowly die. After this, we are shown the last surviving human on Earth, a young woman named Eva. She lives on top of a mountain inside a military base with a robot. This base was built by her father. He also created the robot to protect Eva. The robot guards the area, making sure no one can harm her or steal anything. One day, Eva decides to go down the mountain to collect important supplies. Before she leaves, the robot warns her. It tells her never to drink water down there and to always carry her oxygen supply. As Eva goes down, we see the destroyed world below, empty buildings, broken roads, and complete silence. She enters an abandoned supermarket and starts collecting the things she needs. While searching, she suddenly finds lavender seeds among the items. She looks at them quietly, realizing they might still carry a small hope for life in this dead world. Eva knows that in these conditions, when Earth is already destroyed, growing plants is very difficult. Still, she takes the seeds with her and leaves the store. She hopes that someday she might find another survivor. So, outside the supermarket, she writes her location so that if any survivor is still alive, they can come and stay with her. When Eva returns home, her robot is waiting for her. Every time she comes back, she has to enter a password. Even if she only goes from her car to the gate, she still has to give the code again and again. One day, she gets very frustrated and enters the wrong password. The robot immediately points a gun at her. To save herself, Eva quickly enters the correct code and then goes inside. After that, she takes a shower with her clothes on so that any virus on her body can be washed away. Then she starts doing her daily work. Inside her house, Eva has built a small greenhouse where she grows her own food. In her lonely life, she has nothing else to do. She brings supplies for herself, stores them, and produces her own energy. These days, she is installing solar panels so that there will be no shortage of power. Eva does all this work alone while the robot keeps guarding the base from outside. While working, Eva tries to entertain herself by joking with the robot. But it is an AI, so it does not understand jokes. One day, she jokingly proposes marriage to the robot. The robot starts explaining the meaning of marriage and says that a human and a robot can never get married. Eva then asks, "So, what about me? Who do I have except you?" From their conversation, we learned that Eva's father had brought her to this base and then went back to his battalion. Before leaving, he told her that he would return in a few days. But many years have passed and there's still no news about him. The robot tells Eva that it can only work for 40 more years. It asks her what she will do if something happens to it. Eva jokingly replies, "It's okay. If something happens to you, I'll find another robot." Now, Eva asks the robot about its rules. The robot says that its first rule is to follow every human order. The second rule is to protect itself and stay active. Eva then tells the robot that it was also created for another purpose, which was to find energy resources. But the robot replies, "No, I'm only for security. My only job is to protect you and stop strangers from coming here. According to me, a stranger is anyone who does not know my password." Eva says, if someone doesn't know the password and is dying, you should still help them. Then she reminds a robot, "Do you remember when you were on duty at Checkpoint 1? You did not let people pass. They died from heat just because they didn't know the password." Eva says, "Because of you, almost everyone in this world died. After that incident, the robot was reprogrammed." Even now, Eva does not feel completely comfortable living with the robot. She is still afraid of it sometimes. But she cannot turn it off because all its systems were set up by her father. Christmas was coming and Eva asks the robot, "Do you want any gift?" The robot replies, "We did not take gifts." Eva says, "You can at least pretend to be human." That evening, the robot comes to Eva and says, "Give me one eye as a gift so I can see everything." Eva replies, "Yes, that's not a bad idea." The next morning, Eva goes down again to bring an artificial tree because all real trees are now dead. Before she leaves, the robot reminds her, "Take your oxygen tank." After collecting her supplies, Eva returns and tries to enter her house. The robot asks for the password. Eva gives the password, but even after that, the robot points a gun at her. This happens because Eva gives the wrong password. The robot's password changes every 3 months. The new password is written in her father's journal, which is inside the house. But the robot does not allow her to enter. Eva starts begging, "Please let me go inside. I will check and tell you the correct password." She's also very thirsty. She speaks all the passwords she remembers, but all of them are wrong. Eva tries to explain, "I am the last human alive in this world. You were created to protect me. Let me go inside, and I will give you the correct password." But the robot does not listen. So Eva goes and sits at a distance. She thinks that when the robot gets distracted, she will sneak inside. When she tries to do that, the robot suddenly comes from the side and points its gun at her. After some time, Eva again comes near the robot and says, "Please let me go inside. I need an axe because I have to cut trees." The robot says, "But there are no living trees left. Why do you need an axe?" The robot remembers everything. Eva also remembers, but the robot is helpless because of its programming. Once again, Eva starts requesting, "Let me go inside. I will check the journal and tell you the correct password." But the robot is not ready to listen. Eva thinks that at night, she will secretly enter the camp. But even at night, the robot does not move from its position. The next morning, Eva becomes very weak because of hunger and thirst. Now she must enter the house at any cost. So she gets a new idea. She wears different clothes and covers her face. Then she goes to the robot and says, "I am a refugee. I need your help." She tells the robot that according to its rules, any refugee can take shelter in another place if their life is in danger. Eva says, "I am a political refugee. I came from a country where war is going on." The robot replies, "Okay, you must go around from behind so I can scan you." Eva agrees and goes behind. But when she comes back, she changes her appearance and looks like herself again. This becomes her biggest mistake. When the robot scans her, it realizes that she is not a refugee. So, the robot refuses to give her shelter again. When Eva comes in front of the robot for the third time in her real appearance, the robot immediately says that a short while ago, an unknown person and a refugee came here, but it chased them away. Hearing this, Eva feels that the robot is now starting to remember things. So she asks again and says, "This time, please let me go inside." But once again, the robot asks for the password. Completely exhausted, Eva starts walking away and tells the robot that if any refugee comes here next time, it should at least give them some water. Since Eva herself desperately needs water, she once again returns wearing the refugee disguise and asks the robot for water. But before giving water, the robot begins questioning her. It asks for documents. Eva gets angry and says that she escaped from a war zone. So how could she possibly have documents? Hearing this, the robot agrees, but it asks one more question. Why does she want to stay in this country? Eva tells a fake story that her parents were killed and she was living alone. So she came here. Frustrated, she asks for water again. The robot replies that it will only give water to a refugee after it first gives water to Eva, and that will only happen once Eva tells the correct password. But Eva still cannot remember the password. Because of this, she is forced to spend yet another night outside. Due to hunger and thirst, her body becomes extremely weak. The next morning, Eva starts crying in front of the robot and begs, asking it to please give her a little water or allow her to go inside for just a few seconds. But the robot tells her that it is sorry and cannot help her. It adds that it would have helped her if she were the last human alive. But since a refugee and an unknown girl came yesterday, her value has now decreased. At this point, Eva has no strength left in her body. She starts walking away in despair. Seeing her condition, the robot feels pity and tells her that there is a power plant ahead. It says that it often detects movement there. So it is possible that some humans might be present. And if there are people there will likely be water and food as well. Hearing this, Eva starts moving toward that location. Now, the oxygen in her cylinder is also very low. The power plant is very deep underground. When Eva goes inside, she finds some water bottles. She quickly removes her oxygen cylinder and breaks the door with an axe to enter. But after going inside, she realizes that all the bottles are empty. At the same time, radiation is leaking from the plant which can harm her, and it has already started affecting her body. Using all her remaining strength, Eva somehow manages to return to her camp. Now she thinks that she will kill the robot. She drives her vehicle straight into it, but the robot is made of extremely strong metal. The impact only causes her vehicle to catch fire while the robot remains completely unharmed. The next morning, Eva's condition becomes very bad. Before dying, she plants the lavender seeds she had into the ground, hoping that someday they might grow. Seeing her like this, the robot comes near her and starts giving its report. It says that last night an unknown person tried to attack it. Eva does not pay attention to anything it says and keeps asking for water. But the robot tells her that attacks have started happening in this area, and it cannot leave its duty because of dehydration and hunger. Eva begins to have hallucinations. She imagines herself wearing nice clothes and living in a beautiful world. In another hallucination, she sees her father coming to give her water. But when she comes back to reality, she realizes that it is only the robot standing in front of her asking for the password. By now, Eva does not even have the strength to speak. The robot tells her that if she dies, its password will automatically reset. Eva makes her final wish and tells the robot that after she dies, it should keep watering her lavender seeds. After saying this, she passes away. The robot then sets its new password as lavender. And with this, the movie ends. Personally, I found this ending very sad and disturbing. It shows that artificial intelligence can become very dangerous for humans if it only follows rules and has no emotions or understanding.